Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Hawaii State Ministers Association online Sunday service. My name is Tomo Hojo, and I'm the resident minister of West Kauai Hongwanji Mission. It is my pleasure to deliver this weekend service from the Island of Kauai. We will begin today's service with the chanting of Vandana and Ti-Sarana. Please put your hands together in gassho. Now we will have the chanting of Juseige. Namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu. Namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu. Namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu, namon no butsu. Namon no butsu, namon no butsu. Shonin 三奇妙交際主役難回避知恵源滅死根門閉塞小悪論通達全宗門高僧上満足異様老実法日願主樹期天候不言一種解放存高速六本上大主樹説法師識供養一切部具足師特本元年信条門特異三愛用妙文無具師通達未不詳願学力都市最小尊志願や国家大戦を観能国書天人東宇妙見ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物ナマン動物I'd like to begin my Dharma talk by quoting Shinran Shonin's words. Please put your hands together in gassho. Through the benefit of the unhindered light, we realize Shinjin of vast, majestic virtues, and the eyes of our blind passions necessarily melts, immediately becoming water of enlightenment. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu, Namo Butsu. Good morning again, everyone. How are you? I hope everybody is doing well and keeping safe. 6 weeks has passed since we started this online service, which means we haven't had Sunday services at the temple for
more than a month. I feel strange because I cannot see our Hongwanji ohana and enjoy listening to the Dharma at the temple. I feel that I'm missing something big from my heart. How about you? One day, I dreamt that I was having a service with other ministers. It was kinda strange because every Saturday night and Sunday morning I became nervous and wanted to run away from the situation. It was a junk kind of dream, but sometimes a dream is an important experience for a person's religious life, including Shinran Shonin. One of his dreams was related to Eshin-ni. Today, many Hongwanji temples had scheduled Eshin-ni and Kakushin-ni Day service sponsored by the Buddhist Women's Association. I'd like to share two stories. The first one is about a woman and Shinran Shonin. The second is about Eshin-ni and Shinran Shonin. Before I talk about that, I'd like to confirm the most important thing of today's service. Who is Eshin-ni? Eshin-ni was the wife of Shinran Shonin. How about Kakushin-ni? Do you remember who she was? She was the daughter of Shinran Shonin. She took care of Shinran Shonin until the end of his life. I feel that the Hongwanji has the most powerful BWA and has a relatively high percentage of female ministers. Do you know how many ministers belong to Jodo Shinshu Hongwanji Ha? I checked the 2019 report and it said 32,098 ministers belong to our Hongwanji and 10,443 are females, which is almost a third. I think there are several reasons. One of them is that Amida Buddha's teaching doesn't discriminate between males and females. I'd like to share a famous story about Shinran Shonin when he was still a practicing monk at Mount Hiei. He practiced at Mount Hiei from 9 years old to 29 years old. In the 12th century in Japan, they had different ideas compared to present day. One of them was that females couldn't enter Mount Hiei. One day, Shinran Shonin went to Kyoto for business and was returning to Mount Hiei. On his way back to Mount Hiei, Shinran Shonin met a lady and she asked him, "Are you going back to Mount Hiei?" He replied, "Yes, I am." She said, "Can you take me to Mount Hiei?" Shinran Shonin replied, "I'm sorry, I cannot take you to Mount Hiei because they have a rule which does not allow women." She said, "Female birds and deer can live in the mountain. Why can't I go there? I just wanted to listen to the teachings. Now we all have equal rights. But this was about 800 years ago in Japan, so no one questioned it then. At that time, Shinran Shonin was young and couldn't answer the question. She continued, I know that Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching is superior teaching, but if it cannot shine on everyone like the sun, it has no meaning. It shouldn't be for Buddhist monks or priests only. It sounds like the sun, which cannot heat up the ground. After that, the lady gave a small, beautiful stone to Shinran Shonin and said, Please study hard and find a path which can save all people. Please don't wrap the beautiful stone in a cloth. Make this stone shine throughout the world. It is a famous legend, and I'm not sure if this is a true story, but it teaches us something important. Human life is equally precious. There is no difference between male and female. It is a basic understanding for us. When Shinran Shonin was 29 years old, he met Honen Shonin, who became the teacher of Shinran Shonin and the Nembutsu teachings. After he met the Nembutsu teachings, he left Mount Hiei because Shinran Shonin found the answer to the question which the lady asked. The person who supported Shinran Shonin's work was Eshin-ni. Her background is still somewhat unknown, but she was a highly educated person. It is because she was able to read and write letters in the 12th century. At that time, only highly educated people could read and write. An important thing about Shinran Shonin and Eshin-ni was marriage. At that time, Buddhist monks couldn't get married, but Shinran Shonin and Eshin-ni did marry and had children. They were a wonderful couple. The reason I can say this is Eshin-ni's letters. When I read her letters, I understood that they respected each other. One good example is that Eshin-ni considered Shinran Shonin as the manifestation of Kannon Bodhisattva, and Shinran Shonin considered that Eshin-ni was the manifestation of Kannon Bodhisattva also. Through their dream, they deeply respected each other and considered each other as the manifestation of Kannon Bodhisattva. They were a wonderful couple and were really appreciative of the Nembutsu teachings. Here we have a good example. So when we listen to the Nembutsu teachings, we can have a better relationship as a husband or a wife. A few years ago, the Hongwanji calendar had a wonderful phrase which said, the family consisted that only good person is forever. Don't you think that is strange? It is because the family has only good people. We all wish to be a good person and don't want to become a bad person, right? I'd like to explain the reason. In this sentence, the good person means the person who thinks he or she is always right. If the husband said, "I'm right, you are wrong," and the wife said, "I'm right, you are wrong," what will happen? They will forever fight. Listening to the Nembutsu teaching means to know who I am through Amida Buddha's wisdom light. We often say Sutra is like a mirror. It is the same thing. When I see myself, I hardly say, "I'm right." How about you? Talking about myself, I started ballroom dance at the beginning of this year. I am not a good dancer because I have 2 left feet. Since I am a beginner, I need to memorize many basic steps. Fortunately, I have good teachers, and they taught me how to dance kindly and patiently. Another fortunate thing is that my partner is a good dancer. In ballroom dance, I'm supposed to lead my partner, but she can dance way better than me. Sometimes she is leading me. But when we make a mistake, my mind says, "I made the right step," and I mock even if I am making the wrong step. It is because of my self-centered mind. Even if I take a wrong step, I forget to think about what I did and think, "I'm doing this right." The person who lives in Nembutsu is always reflecting on his or her actions. Thus, the person that lives with Nembutsu teaching doesn't fight. We cannot fight. Of course, I get greed, anger, ignorance, or monku. It is because of my blind passion. And Shinran Shonin used a metaphor of eyes for this mind. Have you ever experienced that? When I fight with someone, my mind becomes like ice. Because of my blind passion, my mind becomes extremely hard with a limited view. Of course, I cannot change myself easily, but when I encounter the working of Amida Buddha's light, these blind passion become a chance of learning. Shinran Shonin said, "Through the benefit of the unhindered light, we realize changing of vast, majestic virtues, and the ice of our blind passions necessarily melts, immediately becoming water of enlightenment." Ice cannot melt by itself, but when we put it into water, what will happen? The working of the water slowly melts the ice. It is a similar relationship with Amida Buddha and us. When we meet Amida Buddha's light, our eyes of blind passion will melt. The water mixes with Amida Buddha's compassion and becomes one. Amida Buddha is saying, I accept all sentient beings as you are. Amida Buddha is also saying that he knows our mind, thus he made a primal vow to carry across all sentient beings into his land through Namo Amida Butsu. We will realize that we are already in Amida Buddha's great compassion. Then the caring heart will naturally come back. People who lived in this teaching is Shinran Shonin and Eshin-ni. Thus, I want to tell you that when you get married, please remember that we have a wonderful example who are our founding couple. Let us recite the Nembutsu and pay respect to our partner or family. Please put your hands together in gassho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Shinshu Pledge. I take my refuge in the vow of the Buddha. Reciting the name, I will live through life with strength and serenity. I revere the light of the Buddha. I will put my effort in my work with self-reflection and gratitude. I follow the teachings of the Buddha, discerning the right path. I will spread the true Dharma. I rejoice in the compassion of the Buddha. I will respect and help others and do my best for the welfare of humankind. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Now we will sing the gather, Ondoku-san number 2, followed by Nembutsu.
Namo no butsu, 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 namo no butsu. This concludes the Hawaii State Ministers Association online Sunday service. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. We will continue online Sunday services. Next Sunday's speaker will be Reverend Shon Yagi of Aiea Hongwanji Mission. He is a wonderful speaker, so please share this information with your family and friends. Once again, please put your hands together in gassho and recite the Nembutsu together. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.